Ah, two armies. This could be a problem. Guys, this is Hatman, and I hope you're having a lovely day. Today we're going to talk about how to properly defend your fort in Rome 2 Divided Impera. We are currently fighting against History. History are northern Italian Celtic tribe, and we are playing as Macedon. Currently, our forces are down in the south, and we got surprised by their declaration of war. We rushed in to kind of stop them from coming down the Latin province and destroying our hopes and dreams. And we have a very small army. We basically have 5 of these guys, white shield infantry. They're classified as light. We have 2 of mercenary units, Italic swordsmen, and we of course have a bronze shield pikemen, and our general that is basically the best general unit in the game, in my opinion. And we're facing a full stack and half a stack here. They have a lot of trash, but they have some really nice units, and they have a lot of skirmishers. So it's not an easy situation. If you guys interested in more of a background story, I'm gonna put a link to my campaign so you can check it out when this episode comes out. But let's first see what our situation here is. We're outnumbered like 2,000 versus 7,000, and they have better quality men than we do. So how do we win this? What is our win condition here? Well, these guys are the key, the bronze shield pikemen. They have sarissas, and they're gonna hold the front against the enemy. The other key unit will be our general. It's a companion unit. Basically, it has 200 horsemen. It's a heavy shock cavalry, and we're gonna rely on old school Macedonian tactics of hammer and anvil to carry the day. But let's talk first about our defensive positioning. We have barricades on this side, we have barricades on that side, we have 2 sets of caltrops protecting our entrance, and we have brimstone pits, but we don't really have any archers, we don't have any skirmishers that can light up these bad boys, so it is what it is. But there is something really important here. There's a very, very tiny detail here that is very important to learn. So you can see that a positioning of these barricades is between 2 of these palisade walls at the entrance. It's not here, it's not inside, it's in the middle. Why is this important? We can see that our phalangites, our bronze shields, are kind of here. If you look at the unit indicator, we can see that our mercenary swords are kind of ahead of them. And on this side as well, if we see the line, these guys are ahead of our pikemen. Our pikemen is still effective. You can see here that their sarissas are kind of breaking through the palisades, and they can hit the enemies here. And also, they're gonna prevent a lot of enemies from destroying barricades because they have to face sarissa, and they cannot be touched easily. So this is a really, really good position for pike unit to be in. But why is this so important? Because enemy AI has a target on your heavy infantry. They usually ignore your skirmishers. If you have cav, they're gonna focus on cav, or they're gonna usually focus on your infantry units. And it's important to put your best. These are our best 2 swords units here, so they're gonna present some kind of threat to the AI. And when the enemies kind of come here, their archers, their peltas, whatever they have, they're gonna first detect this unit or this unit. They're gonna lock on them first instead of locking on our pikes. If all of them start firing at our pikemen, they are somewhat protected here behind the barricades, but barricades are not as big, they're not as high, they cannot protect your unit really well. And if they focus fire, they can easily destroy this unit. So they have good armor, they have like 40. These guys have only 20, but they're well protected behind the palisade walls. Compare the size of the barricades and compare the size of walls here. So this is the goal. This is a small trick that can win you the battle, and we're gonna start here. We're gonna see how battle develops. We have our general behind, but he still has his aura around all of these guys, and we turn off fire at will for all the swords. You can see that enemy skirmisher cav is moving in. We're gonna play with normal speed now. These are Roman Equites. They're mercenaries. A really good cavalry unit. But they're getting stuck on caltrops here. They're losing some men. And they're getting hit by services. Here I could have done a better job. Just pushing these guys very close to the palisade wall. But they're gonna eat some pillars from these guys. That kind of sucks. Look at this. These guys are focusing mostly on our mercenary units. And now enemy skirmishers are getting into position. They're starting to open fire. Now this is a significant number. These are Celtic bowmen. These are Velites, and these are Velites as well. Yeah, they have a lot of Velites. Look at this. They're hitting the palisade wall. Big time. Like, maybe 4/5 of all the shots end up here. You can see it on this side as well. Some of the shots are going towards our pikes, but it's not as bad. It's not as bad. It's relatively okay. It's a big mob. They have their general unit is what exactly? They're kind of heavy hoplites. This is a pretty capable unit. They have some medium spears as well. They have some Hastati. They have these are Celtic warriors. Yeah, they have some capable units. All of it is trash, so this is making our life easier. But the goal here is to make AI overcrowd this position. You're gonna try to kind of punch through with the sheer force. And if you don't have barricades, and if you have like a normal infantry unit, they would be kind of pushed inside by the sheer scale of enemies. But because we have pikemen and we also have barricades, they're not gonna push us easily back. Not gonna create any kind of advantage here for themselves. You can see that also barricades are blocking a lot of shots. They're not as effective as, of course, walls, because walls are bigger, but still. We're doing just fine. And pretty much all of these spear units, they have some kind of skirmishing capability. This is the situation where I've decided that enough was enough, and these guys are taking a lot of fire from the enemy. These guys have 15 kills and 6 kills. So we're using our general to destroy their bowmen. They managed to take a volley off, but our general has 41 armor. And I'm sure that these guys are already heavily committed, so they're not likely to peel off and kind of come to chase after our general. We have a devastating volley on these guys, and they're rapidly breaking. Yeah, they're already routing here. But now the problem is that our general is kind of stuck with this unit that we did not get charge on, and we were being shot at by this one. So soon I'm gonna decide to kind of retreat and cycle charge once again. Well, here, if we look at our pikemen, they already have 700 kills. I kid you not, 700 kills. That's quite a bit. Quite a bit. And we're cycle charging here, as I said before. We're gonna have some difficulty in destroying these guys just because there are 3 of them and there is only 1 cavalry unit on our side. Now we're pushing our reserves to the flanks. Our guys are fresh. Our general is not, but he's getting there. We also have Italic mercenary swords. They're exhausted, but they're gonna chill a bit. We're just gonna wait for them to get into position. And this is the time for our general to charge in. He has 537 kills, and let's see how that charge would go. We're gonna... Oh, come on. It's a really nice charge. Wide into the backs of the enemies. It's a really powerful charge. But you can see that we are rapidly losing men as well. Problem with this general, it has very low melee defense. Only 7. And these are spearmen. These are like medium spears, light spears, whatever. They're really good at fighting cavalry. And now we're opening fire with these guys. We're gonna get some kills because we're firing the backs of the enemies. All of those guys are exhausted. And our guys are fresh here. Okay, we took another round of Pilla. We lost a single unit. Not too bad. But now we're double charging in. And I made a mistake here just because I decided to frontally charge medium spears. And you can see it here. We are losing a lot of men. They're also losing men, but we're losing, yeah, more than they are. So I decided to peel back my general just because it's not worth it. And I'm gonna do a lot of heavy lifting with sword unit. These guys are exhausted. They're hitting the flank in the back and they're fleeing. I'm just gonna wait for these guys to commit a bit more. And now we're charging back. Should be much, much easier. Yeah, they're fleeing. Our general is getting more and more kills. Our charge here was quite a success. These guys have 70 kills. How about these guys? 140. Because they are facing routing units. With this unit, we didn't have a good angle to charge, so I'm gonna peel them off and kind of push them again. We're preparing our general for another cycle charge. He did a hell of a job, but, you know, he's getting tired and depleted. But this is a really good charge. Once again, in the back of all of these guys. They're starting to panic big time. And now a massive rout is starting. They're exhausted, they're tired. Imagine like being here with no food, no water, being hit from all the sides by fresh troops. And a bunch of them decide, okay, it's enough. Let's go home. But there is no home to go to. We're kind of sealing off the only escape route for them. And they're stuck here big time. These guys are getting instructions to fire. I hope we're gonna see it. Oh yeah. We're hitting these guys here. It's not a perfect volley. Let's see how many kills they got. 79, but it's not only this pillar throw. They were fighting even before. So now we're pushing hard, and this is a mass rout already. There are a couple of units that are there. They're still fighting. They have medium spear infantry. These guys are really good. But the rest are just fleeing. If we look at our pike unit, they took a beating themselves. They lost about 80 men, but they have over 1,300 kills. That's fantastic. Considering that they are completely exhausted and they're still firing and fighting, that's quite amazing. These guys are all fleeing. There's nothing for them now. Only death. And we're kind of hard pressing to strike enemy general. What's happening with our general? Over 1,000 kills as well. I finally realized that these guys are not committed, and there is a space to charge, to rear charge enemy general. You can also see the walls are crumbling. Okay, this one killed a lot of men. And they're done. This is it. This is GG. Well, the reason why we won here, as I said, is because of the awesome general Macedonians have. Phalangite unit that was here, but primarily because of positioning of the barricade. If we position barricade here and we put our Phalangites very close to the same line as these guys, they could have suffered huge casualties due to archer fire and skirmish fire, and maybe not even survive long enough to defeat the enemy. So be very careful how you position your barricades, and well, see you next time, guys. Thank you for watching. We took only 300 losses.